Hello, everybody. Good evening. It's Wednesday, 17th of September 2025, and it's 9 p.m. here in Ireland, in the UK, 10 p.m. in France, and 5 o'clock in Brazil. So it's time for our spiritual light. As you can see, we do have a special guest today, first time with us in the spiritual light, Roberto Watanabe. Roberto Watanabe was the president of State of São Paulo Spiritist Federation. He has uh, done many works for Irish Spiritist Federation, about almost 4 or 5 years. And today is the first time he joined us here to talk about the value in life. So this is our topic today. And as usual, I do have my great friends, Elsa and Charles. So, good evening, Roberto. How are you, my friend?
I'm fine, thank you. Stevan, Elsa, Charles, glad to be here with you all.
Thank you. Good evening, Elsa. How are you, my dear?
I am okay, better now, here with you, Watanabe, Charles, and our friends that are coming to the chat. So it's wonderful to be here again today. We are going to talk about something very important, how we can value and see life as a gift. It is a gift. So we have to take care of our gift. So I hope that this talk tonight will be very nice, interesting, and useful for ourselves, for our lives. Thank you.
Bonsoir, Charles.
So, Steven, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Indeed, very happy to be here with all of you. Roberto, a very big pleasure to have you here with us, Elsa and Steven, and thank you also for all of you who are joining us.
Okay, good, good, good. So, I also want to give good evening to the Bride of Rock, Marcio M. Our friend Munir is watching us. Thank you. Good evening, all. And let's give my brief introduction about our topic today. While I make my introduction, please don't don't forget to send your questions, and we are more than happy to answer those questions and make clear any doubts you may have within this topic or any topic related to spiritism. So, as I said, this week's edition, uh, we are open our hearts and minds to spiritist reflections, which guide us towards deeper understanding of spiritual growth. As mentioned, our topic is value in life. This topic invites us to reflect on divine gift of existence, not only material sense, but its most profound spiritual dimension. In teachings brought by Allan Kardec, Allan Kardec works, life is never an accident or coincidence. Each existence, however brief, difficult, or obscure, carries purpose, lessons, and the promise of eternal progress. Spiritism teachings reveals that we are all immortal spirits undergoing a temporary incarnation to learn, repair past errors, and evolve in love, wisdom, and service. To value life is to respect it in ourselves and the others. Recognize its sacred from conception to natural death and even beyond. In our conversation today, we will reflect on life's challenge, its trials, its beauty, and its responsibilities through the light of Spiritism teachings. So thank you for listening me, and we can kick off our discussion today. So, I would like to start with our guest today. So, Watanabe, um, what's the? I already gave a very brief introduction, explanation, my introduction, but what does Spiritism teach us about the spiritual purpose of life? What is the meaning of life, according to Spiritism teachings?
Yeah, according to Spiritism, according to the Spiritist book, we learn that God has created us all, simple and ignorant, and life, the purpose of life is to help us as immortal spirits, as you said, to progress through experience, learning, and the practice of a moral law. The final target that we all have is to reach perfection. So that's what we have there on the question 132 from the Spiritist book. And to reach such a perfection, just one life, one incarnation is not enough, right? So that's why
Mhm.
the principle of a reincarnation in Spiritism. We need many lives to reach such perfection. Uh, Actually, we had already thousands of alive in the past, and we will have thousands of alive in the future. So, because such progress also is infinite. Uh, we reach perfection, but we say that is a relative perfection because the absolute perfection only God has. So then, to reach such perfection, we must undergo, Kardec says, the Spirit says on the Spirit book, all the vicissitudes of the corporeal existence. So, meaning that the struggle that we have on our life is not something to disturb us, but is something valuable. Is a valuable tool for our transformation in moral sense. So that's the purpose of life, right? The meaning of life. But the Spirit also say that we have another purpose of our life. It's not only about perfecting ourselves as individualities, but we also have our tasks, right? Our job to do, let's say, in the society where we live. So that's why the Spirit says that another objective of life is to place ourselves as spirits in situation where we can share, we can do our share in the work of creation. So meaning that we participate in the work of creation. Uh, so that we progress ourselves as individualities, but at the same time we contribute to the good of everything, right? Because Spirit says that's why they say that everything is connected, and everything in nature is, is in solidarity. So that's what I would ask about this question regarding the meaning of life or purpose of life.
Okay, okay, good, good. Charles Elsa would like to add anything? Can you keep move on?
I mean, it's very clear. I mean, it's by having this vision according to the spiritualist paradigm means that we have a soul which is existing before the creation of the body, physical body, and which is surviving after, is changing completely the point of view. And we also can understand, Roberto explained it very well, that we need, as in our current state of evolution of humans, we need to reincarnate in a physical body in order to progress. So not valuing this life, this physical body is simply give up in the progress. No, we want all to progress. So we have to take care of the tool we have to progress, which is our life and our physical body.
I can say that the life is full of choices. At the end of the day, it's our free will acting upon our own desire, the way that we live. Yeah? Because all the opportunities that we have, opportunities to grow or to go down, depending on us, and the way that we live affects our relatives, our communities, our people around us. We are a very important tool to the earth evolving towards goodness. We still have a lot of things to work and to do, and a lot of way to walk, to do, to go further. But it is up to us to value life. I can value life saying, oh my God, I have my small flat to live and I'm so happy. And someone can say, oh, I don't have the house that I want. I'm so unhappy. No value in life at all. We can see beauty in the minor things. And people sometimes, even having big good things, they don't value life. But we have now and today, in this moment, an opportunity to talk about, to open our hearts, to add things in the chat that we can think, I am the one that is valuing life now? What I have to do with my life? A question that we have to say, because we claim against others that they have more than me. Because my value is only in material things? Maybe. I'm valuing moral part of my life, or I can convert myself to a different way only to have material things. But I can be the being of light in my family, in myself, first, in myself, because life is mine. God gave us a treasure, a big, important thing, a gift for us to take care. It is we have to take care with love, as you take care a little baby. We take care ourselves. We love ourselves. We value our existence, as Roberto said. We have a lot of many existence. We have to really evolve and use this now, here and now, not be attached in the past, but see the future, but use the present. Present life is a gift. Present is a gift to live a better way today, now. That is a step that we can do towards our evolution. We evolve our souls towards the light. And the light is saying to us, love one another as he loved us.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah. Life is life. We need to take the opportunity are here. We are here.
have
Doesn't matter.
choices, Stevan.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which what you believe, if it is gonna end when you close your eyes, if keep going when you die, but in a different dimension. It doesn't matter. What's matter, as you said, Elsa, is the present, is today. It is a gift. I'm alive today. What I need to do, so what I need to make my life be better, or make the world better. We are here. We are alive. And Charles, we are in September, and September we always give a kind of awareness about suicide prevention. Why is suicide considered a serious moral error in Spiritism?
Yeah, so this is a quite a delicate question, isn't it? Spiritism is indeed doing whatever is possible to prevent suicide, prevent people from committing suicide. And this goes through an analysis of what is leading the people to commit suicide. Huh? And there are a lot of information available in science, in the academies, and so on whatsoever. And it's a very good source of inspiration in order to make this suicide prevention work. Huh? First of all, the people who commit suicide generally they don't want to end with their life. They want to end with suffering or with a heavy problem or with heavy difficulties they are facing. Huh? What the spiritist body of knowledge shows and demonstrates is we have a soul and the soul survives to the death. And by the suicide, in fact, we do not solve our problems. We add one more problem to the problems we can have already before committing suicide. So it's not a good solution, by far not. And that's why we encourage always ask for help. No? Be patient. There are people here who are willing to help you. Amongst the others, you can go into a spiritist center to look for healing, consoling, whatever, even material help if needed, which is much preferable than to go through this wrong exit door, if I can call it so. Okay. So, and why is it so? It's just a consequence of what we just talked of the previous question. We are we are incarnating in a physical body in order to enable our soul to progress. So, ending or destroying this physical body is simply harming this objective of evolution of our soul. So it is our soul will suffer the consequence of it. And this is without also talking about the families, the children, whatever, beloved people who are also suffering from the suicides. So that is why, of course, the question is a little bit hard, serious moral error. I would say it's a mistake. It's really not the good exit door. So please, if you are facing problem, ask for help. Don't hesitate. It's not taboo to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. And you will always find people to help you, whether in the Spiritist movement or elsewhere. There are a lot of people, we can even give you some references, which are here to help you when you are facing a big problem. And Roberto also touched this point. It is also okay to have problems during our life. It's foreseeable. It's natural to face difficulties and even to go through periods of pain. Science has progressed a lot in the painkillers, in the way to mitigate pain, and so on. So this should be, of course, encouraged as much as possible to continue to have to solve the problems like this, to give the best quality, best possible quality of life to everyone. But it is when we are facing problems that we are challenged, and that is then when we are doing much more efforts in order to solve the problem. And these efforts we are doing to solve the problems are helping us to progress much more, because when everything is okay, we accommodate, isn't it? We are not encouraged to do the efforts. So this is making our progress slowing down. So we should see all these difficulties as natural difficulties and also the positive side of them, which is to help us to progress, and never, never ever give up, never ever fall into despair and go through this wrong, select this wrong exit door. So let's, even in the adversity, see the positive sides and how this can help us to grow. And I'm sure all of you have already gone through difficulties and problems. And if you think about, you found a way out and to solve these problems. And when you analyze how and the consequences out of it, you will see that you have grown, you have learned something, you have become better in something, you are better to prevent it from happening again. In summary, it helps us much to grow much quicker than when everything goes fine. So that's it. That's what we can say. It's a wrong exit door. It's not the best solution, by far not, and it's adding problems to already big problems. And this is also what comes out because in the Spiritist movement, Spiritism in general, we have the mediumship, so we are talking with some spirits or helping also some spirits in difficulties. And among those spirits, there are spirits who selected these wrong exit doors. And the vast majority of them is saying, I should not have done that. It was not the right choices. So let's listen to them. And I think even in the suicide prevention movement, you can find some people who tried to commit a suicide, but they failed. There is an example of a person who jumped, I don't know if it's the Golden Gate or the Bay Bridge, into the water. But he did not die because there was a boat just nearby who could rescue him, and he survived. And this people is now going traveling around the world, this guy, saying, look, the second after my jump, I was already regretting what I did. And I really encourage you not to go through this way. So you see, even the people who survived tell it, and the people who unfortunately passed away are telling exactly the same thing in the vast majority. So that's it. We have these elements in order to try to convince you, and also we are here giving our hand in order to bring all the help possible that we can bring in order to solve the problems you may face.
Good. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Roberto, Elsa, anything to add?
Yes, we have to respect the people that has their own decisions, opinions, etc. But depending of the situation that the conversation are going, we should interfere with respect as well, but more uh, strength the way that we talk and listen more. And I was looking for steps how we can move from the mind of someone that I think and say to you, I don't like this life, I will jump in front of the train, blah, blah, blah. It make you without voice, speechless, because your situation is really terrible. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, but we have this knowledge, as you says, body of knowledge that Spiritism brings to us. The way that you can approach to someone in depression or in this situation. Sometimes depressed people, they don't talk about suicide. They are only on their own world without express things. But according to what I was reading today, we have some guidance how to approach with someone with suicidal thoughts, that there is no value in life at all, or at least, as Charlie said, They don't want to die. They want to be free from their pains, their problems, their sufferings. And later on, if you have time, I can read these steps. That is a guidance for me and a guidance for someone that are facing parents, relatives, or children, or someone with suicidal thoughts. That is really terrible. But we respect with others. We have to be honest, being kind, be responsible, and show to everyone that we respect their thoughts, we respect their way to live, but we can add our kindness, we can add our knowledge about spirituality, about eternal life, about us as immortal beings. We can explain the way that someone open their minds a little bit and bring them to the light again, to the life and light again, in order to help them to go to the right pathway, in order to save the comas. No one save others, no one save people, but at least we can save a moment, free from the suicidal thoughts.
Yeah, I would say that if the purpose of life, as we have seen, is to progress, if we commit suicide, we interrupt such opportunity for our own progress. So suicide is kind of a rejection of the life that God has gave us. And Kardec asks in the Spiritist book, if people have the right to take their own life, and the Spiritist answers, only God has such a right. So that's because life is a gift to all of us in order to progress. And then we have the consequences of a suicide. The first is disappointment, because suicide does not end our suffering; it prolongs it. So that's one consequence. Another consequence is that by suicide we are interrupting our life before the time that it was the proper time. So a kind of affinity between the spirit, we as a spirit, and the body persists for a long period of time. So such period of time would be the number of years that we would live if we didn't commit suicide. So this is in the Spiritist book and also in the Heaven and Hell book. And so we have a situation where the spirit committed suicide, but he's not sure that he had died. He has the feeling that he's still alive, and really he or she is alive, right? But because of the disconnection to the body, he entered in a kind of a confusion, a kind of anxiety. So this is a second consequence of committing suicide. And for example, if the people would live 20 years more, and then he commits suicide, such a connection between he as a spirit and his body, his physical body, will keep it for 20 years. So for the remaining time that he cut off, right? Anticipated. And also another consequence. This is on the Spiritist book also. The Spiritist say there is that, for example, when the person does that, commits suicide, then in the next incarnation, he or she will will incarnate for the remaining time. So in the example that I gave, if the person had 20 years more of living, and then he cut off his life, in the next incarnation he will live only 20 years. So that is one of the reasons that explains why people die in childhood or a younger age. So it's not that all people that die in such a situation is because they committed suicide, right? But there are many other causes, but one of them is such situation of suicide. So this is some interesting information that we have on the Spirit book, and Heaven and Hell books are about the consequence of suicide. But I think another thing that is important to mention is that we also learn on the Heaven and Hell book about the attenuating and aggravating circumstances regarding suicide. For example, if we are not conscious of the that we as soul are immortal, this is a kind of attenuating circumstance, right? Because we thought that by end our life everything would end, our problems, our suffering would end forever, right? And so this is attenuate. By the other hand, if the person knows, as we as spiritists know, that we are conscious that we as spirits, as soul, we are immortal, and but we commit suicide, then that would be a kind of aggravating circumstance, right? So this is important also to mention the relativity of the act by itself, depending on the consciousness that the person has about the mortality or immortality of he or she as a spirit.
I'd like to add what Roberto is saying, Stevan. If may I? May I?
Of course you can.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I'm thinking about our topic is valuing life. People that are addicted to alcohol, cigars, smoking a lot, are also diminishing their length of living in this incarnation, that are provoking unconsciously a suicidal way to end his life or her life, né, in a short time than the previous agreed since the spiritual world. For example, I should live 92 years on this body, and I smoke a lot. I use alcohol a lot. I use other things that's not good, not healthy. Of course, the end of the day, I can develop emphysema. I can develop other kind of illnesses, and these illnesses will cut my life in a short. So it's something that we should take into consideration. I know that there are a lot of people that is difficult really to stop smoking, really difficult. But we should try. As soon as people are aware about the reincarnation, come and go many times as we need to evolve, people should stop, should diminish as much as they can, because otherwise we'll be on the other side. Aha, you are suicidal. You are suicidal. He said, no, I didn't kill myself. Yes, you kill yourself in small portions every day, every cigar. I know that the big companies of cigars, they don't like that we are talking about this, but yes, we value our life. I value people's lives. I try my best. I'm not stop to talk about this. If someone needs that, I will talk. Yes, I will talk about, because it's the way that I think. If someone doesn't like, sorry, but we have
No,
to
it's
value our life.
yeah, yeah. It's a lot of things when we talk about suicide. There are many factors, many ifs to be considered. But I think what Charles, Elsa, and Roberto said, look for help. Raise your
Yes,
hand and say, "Hey, I have doubts. I have thoughts that don't belongs to me. I have questions, I have fear, I need to talk to someone. So for sure, you do have a church beside you, a spirit center beside you, all those open lines, Samaritans. In Brazil, we do have the CVV. So there are a lot places where you cannot even identify yourself. And a simple conversation may resolve a lot of things. Of course, those conversations will not resolve your problems, but at least will give you some guidance to see a way out. You know? Uh,
Roberto,
so, okay, so let me check. We do not have any questions so far, which tells me two things. Or we are being very clear here, no, not generate any doubts, or our audience not is not following us. But anyway,
can I read these steps that will be useful because it will be recorded. People can come and listen again. It's not something new, but it's something that we should um, talk more. How
mhm.
to help someone with the suicidal thoughts. Says here, stay calm and listen if someone are talking with you. Let them speak without interrupting. Show empathy. I hear you. It sounds really hard right now. Avoid judgment or criticism. Do not say things like, don't be silly, or you have nothing to worry about. Take it seriously. Always treat suicidal thoughts as serious. Never assume they are just seeking attention. Offer support and connection. Show that they are not alone. I am here with you. We can find help together. Encourage them to share feelings with someone they trust, a friend, family member, or spiritual guide. Encourage professional help. Spiritism emphasizes seeking practical help alongside spiritual support. Encourage contacting a qualified professional, psychologist, counselor, doctor, and we can suggest here in the UK immediate help Samaritans. That I don't know if Stevan can put the number, or
Yeah,
text message, or even email. If you want to really be helped, go in for it, or come to Spiritist Center, talk with fraternal assistants. We can talk with you. We can stay beside you, but you need, in practical saying, you need a psychologist, a psychiatrist. Nowadays, it's easily to find a psychiatrist to talk with psychiatrist, but don't leave aside spiritual support. We can do it. We can stay together. We can really help. Okay, we can share spiritistic teachings. We can say to you how life is precious, how we use our life in a better way. Yeah? And we can pray with you, meditate with you, even with a coffee break. If you sit in some place, have a coffee, Costa coffee or a coffee, cafe, we can sit, drink a coffee, and meditate with a coffee. And I was learning about that. Like, oh, this is great. I can meditate having a coffee here in my house. Okay, this is very important. So stay in contact with these people, okay? Follow them because we never know tomorrow. We know today, but not tomorrow.
yeah. So, my
And
dear Elsa, go ahead, Charles.
important also for prevention is what is the purpose of life, understanding of the purpose of life, as Roberto and you, Stevan, explained very well at the beginning. It's to enable our spirit, our soul, to progress And this is giving, to be, when we are sure about this, it's giving us a huge strength, a huge power in order to be capable to cope in front of difficulties, and also preventing a lot by ending our life, because it's really a huge health problem nowadays. It's the first cause of mortality among the young people. I think there are something like 800,000 suicides per year. And look, there are some countries where there is no statistics, so we don't know. It's probably underestimated. And it's really one of the biggest health problem nowadays, and also recognized by the WHO. So that's why there are a lot of actions, and also this commemoration in September for doing whatever we can to prevent it. And as a spiritist body of knowledge, we participate to it. And Elsa also told very well, there are other forms of shortening our life, which are also not okay, with that we should prevent. I was Monday at the funeral of some person who was a brilliant person, but died from lung cancer because of smoking, and it's really a pity. So the people who can do still a lot of things, and unfortunately leaving the earth too early because of those how to say, legal drugs. Legal drugs are sometimes, alcohol is one of the worst one. And then we have also some other aspects to be seen here is end of life. This assisted suicide and or euthanasia or others, which according to the Spiritist body of knowledge, from the same reason we have just explained, are also not the best solution. We should encourage palliative cares. We should encourage in science how to for the painkillers, as I told already. We should really do whatever we can to improve the quality of life, of every life. And sometimes also the people are questioning, but what is the dignity of life? When we see examples like Stephen Hawking, was he all the difficulties he faced, was there dignity in his life? Look to all what he did in that period. So yes, there can be dignity of life in any situation. And that's why we have really to value life in all its form and at every period and epoch. And that's basically coming out. It will be a consequence of understanding of the purpose of life and this change of paradigm to the materialist paradigm into the spiritualist paradigm.
I would like to add, Stevan, that the recommendation of Elsa for the person to look for spiritual assistance is very important, because we have also the spiritual aspect of this matter. For example, here in the Spiritist Federation of São Paulo, we have a spiritual assistance that we call suicide prevention. And it started by the person by receiving, listening to a text from the gospel according to Spiritism, but directed to this problem of to this matter of valuing life as we are doing today. Then after that, he go to receive the pass, and then after that, we have a dialogue with the spirits, because when we have this issue of suicide prevention or suicide, the person is thinking about suicide, we have also the matter of obsession, the spirits that are let's say counseling the person to, well, do that, take your life, that will resolve all your problems. So it's a discarnate spirit, of course, an enemy of the person, who is recommending him to take the action. So In the spiritual assistance, we dialogue with such obsessor, and in order to change his mind, right, regarding such a recommendation. So this is very important because we don't assist only the incarnate person who is thinking about suicide, but also on his let's say enemies, which are uh, in some way or other trying to help him to commit such suicide. So uh, we also work on this side of the the problem also. So that is why it's very important to look for spiritual assistance.
Perfect. Perfect. So we only have like 12 minutes to finish here, and we talk about one side. Let's talk about the other side. And I want to ask you, my dear Elsa, how can we learn to value life even during suffering or illnesses? For example, these near death experiences. They are dying there and then suddenly they wake up for beauty. Sometimes when we think this is the end, that was something that pushes us up and you become a more fraternal person, more reliable person. Why we need these suffering moments, these illnesses to learn.
Oh, Stevan, I was receiving a message from a friend that you talk exact more or less what you were saying. And even the suicidal people that didn't really go to the end, they are at this moment, they can see the entire existence coming as a film into their minds. Everyone is there saying that he's dead, but he's not dead. So he come back and change totally the way to live. Of course, we will see that the body is dying, but the spirit continues. So return to the body, describe things that happens. Not only I'm talking about suicide because I'm talking about valuing life, né? Suicidal
Yes.
thoughts. But valuing life also is for a people that is a bad person all their life, make other people slaves, a huge person, a person that really doesn't value other people. It's not valuing life. And this point, near-death experience, almost died. Everything is writing that he's dying, but he's not dying, and return and change completely. See other people in a different way, try to help others. That is a huge lesson for someone in this stage of life, facing something like that. But because life is a beautiful asset that we have to really take care. If we don't care our life, don't care our other people's life as well. Yeah? We say life. Life is just one. We have just one life, but we have many existences, many incarnations, reincarnations. But our life is a huge, huge road. So we come and go to this road, but we never, never stop going further and further because we have to evolve in our way. It's just one direction. We retrocede when we stop evolving, when we reincarnate again, and is still a bad person, still a spirit that is really grotesque, ignorant. You don't want to evolve. To stay there as Gregorio, 200 years, but if we talk about some books that they are not studied in English, people don't understand what we are saying. But there are books that tell us about reincarnation, as Roberto said, Charles said, and showing us that the law of action and reaction, cause and effect, everything that we are doing this life now, against me, against the others, will return as a boomerang. You go and come and
Mm-hmm.
really take care what we are doing now. But really, the description that my friend wrote said, in some point, I think it was Roberto or Charles was talking, he wrote, it reminds me that people in near-death experiences can have experiences of a supreme divine light enveloping them as grace and as a fruit of their own strivings for it. The point of health is important too, with its spiritual dimension. Yes, we consider both sides of our eternal life.
Wow, this is beauty. You know, we do have. It's like find water in the middle of the desert. It is there somewhere. We're not just finding it, but when we can find, we are overwhelmed. So, unfortunately, we have to learn by by the difficult way.
Sufferings.
By the difficult way. That's the
But
only
we have
way.
to give it, to say thank you in everything, good or bad,
Yes.
and pray for us to be safe, yeah, because we are surrounded by spirits. And if I have illness and I am against God, why me? Why me? I'm not valuing the moment. That is a lesson that I already say yes before incarnate when I was preparing my agenda of life. And so now, here and now, if I'm suffering and I know that I am a spiritual, immortal being, and then you come back and go and come, I will say thanks God for this lesson, and that I don't blame against God because I'm suffering. And even it will be better because if I blame against God and I have pain and I'm suffering, I can get worse in my life, the position that I am the moment. We should be calm. We should reflect. We should don't terrorize our problems. We should face it with gratitude to God, because next life I will already be free from my debts from the past.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. So, Charles, your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, okay, we touched a lot of subjects today, but there is also another one. When you talked about finding water in the middle of the desert, we have to take care of our body, of course, not neglecting our soul, but taking care of our body as a tool for the progress of our soul. But we should also take care of our planet, of the environment, in order to enable the souls to reincarnate here, so they can also progress. That's also part of the valuing life, you know. And taking care of the environment is absolutely key. And now, particularly now that we are seeing already that we are going towards changes which are significant and which will make the condition of life on the earth more difficult. So we went maybe already too far away. So
Mm.
it's not too late to react, but we should really uh, value the conditions of life also in the environment around us. So all of this is just a consequence of the teachings that the Spirit brought. We have a soul, and a lot of people are willing. We will need also to reincarnate again on Earth. When we talk about the climate change, heating to 2100, the year 2100, who knows if we would not already be reincarnated there and suffer ourselves the consequences of what we have done in this life. So all of this is really increasing the awareness increasing the valuing of life, the meaning of life, the purpose of life, I think, which humanity needs dramatically nowadays. And that's what we are trying to encourage. So thanks again for the opportunity and for listening us.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you so much. And you, Roberto, what's your final considerations?
I would like to mention a text that have some recommendations regarding valuing life. Perhaps you have already heard, but it says the following. Don't undermine your worth by comparing yourself with the others. It is because we are different that each of us is special. Don't take for granted the things close to your heart. Cling to them as you would your life, for without them, life is meaningless. Don't give up when you still have something to give. Nothing is really over until the moment you stop trying. Don't be afraid to encounter risks. It's by taking chances that we learn how to be brave. The quickest way to receive love is to give. The easiest way to lose love is to hold it too tightly. And the best way to keep love is to give it wings. Don't use time or words carelessly. Neither can be retrieved. Life is not a race, but a journey to be savored each step of the way. Yesterday history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. Thank you for the opportunity to participate with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you, PSP, to be present in our spiritual light today. Okay, so I hope you all no questions today. What a surprise. I know the topic is a kind of difficult topic, but I insist again, if you are undergo to those situations, open up, talking about it. It is the best solution. Okay, so let me go to some announcements here. And then I will free you up. Okay. So I think you have access to my screen. Oops. So next week, our friend Vanessa Salon will be with us. And the topic it is We Should Never Judge. It's 24th of September, next Wednesday, 9 p.m. London time. Okay, the Spiritist Center for Peace started today a new study, the book of Genesis from Allan Kardec. This study takes place every Wednesday. It is online study. You have the Zoom meeting details in your screen, and you can join anytime you want. And just don't forget, it's at noon UK time. Also, we do have the Mediums book study online every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. with Munir Gariba, with Charles Kempf, and Guilherme Dias. Please keep reading Spiritist magazine in English. There are wonderful topics there. It's free of charge. Just need to go to spiritismagazine.org and download your magazine and read it. Also, we are in the chat GPT. We have the Kardec bot. So if you don't have questions, you're afraid to ask questions to us, you can ask questions to Cardiac Bot as well. Try it. It's a good experience. Please keep listening Cardiac Radio. And thank you to Cardiac Radio who provide us this opportunity to be here as well. And this is it from me today. I want to say thank you, Elsa.
Thank you.
Merci,
Thank you
Charles.
all.
Roberto, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And I wish you all a good evening. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you so much, everybody.
Bless.
Thank you. Bye bye.